Earl Spence too, though, because if he wins this fight, he's not going to get the credit.
Well, you know, what I was more concerned about with Errol's, this is his hometown. And we were in Dallas. This is his hometown. And he did not have the support that I expected when we looked in the crowd. And I mean, that's crazy. Everybody was, for the past 3 months or 2 months, have been talking, you know, they need to start supporting the fighters in this area, and we need to start doing more. And then they don't show up. People don't show up to the weigh-in. I mean, I think people just want an outlet to bitch. I don't think they want to see a fight. They just need a reason to bitch.
I thought it was a pretty good turnout.
I don't think so. Not
what
for
did
Errol.
Say 5,000?
Yeah, but the turnout. Look at the numbers. Were really in favor of Mikey than Errol in this.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier today. That's kind of fucked up that, you know, it's your hometown.
Yes.
And you're in the top 5 pound for pound, and that only 5,000 people show up to the weigh-ins, but not only that, but out of that 5,000 that showed up, 90% of it was Mikey's crowd.
But it also goes to show you
that's not his fault.
The lengths that people go through to see some of the fighters of this sport, and it's just crazy that some of them aren't supporting the same ones.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of people, it goes on that what I'm saying. People started off and they're like, "Oh, Mikey's crazy for taking a fight." It's always like that, and it's crazy. Like, instead of saying, "Well, more fighters in boxing needs to be more like Mikey," and that people should start taking these big fights, even within their own weight class, they should start taking these big fights. Instead, they turn back around and they say Mikey is overrated or Mikey's not ready. I'm sorry, we're
trying to get YouTube on.
Yeah, but that Mikey's not ready for that. He's not ready to do it. So and that he's crazy, and then you get people now that are saying that he stands no chance. So, like, what are you supposed to do? You know what I mean? Like, you know, bitch when the fights ain't getting made. And it was okay for other fighters like Pacquiao to jump up all the weight classes. And everybody says, well, Mikey's not Manny Pacquiao.
But yeah, but also, but in the same token, Errol Spence is not Oscar De La Hoya either.
That's what I'm saying. Oscar De La Hoya was a 5'10". Oh, what do you say that Oscar De La Hoya was washed up, way past his prime, and so it's always something, you know what I mean? It's actually irritating, and it pisses me off. And Spence, if Spence wins this fight, he should be number 1 pound for pound. He should be. I mean, yeah, because the fight happened.
Yeah, I still would have Crawford ahead of him.
You can. I mean, a crazy argument, but why? Because he's a natural 147, and Mikey's coming up.
I think so.
So are we falling into that same trap?
No, we're not falling into the same trap. I'm just saying, I'm going by the whole resume complete. I'm not going by 1 or 2, 3 fights. Well, if you look down Crawford's resume, everybody he fought were world champions or former world champions. Errol Spence, all he has fought is Algieri, Lamont Peterson, and Kell Brooker. The only
so
people
does Mikey go to number 1 if he wins this fight?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. No, Mikey don't go to number 1. Mikey might move up 1. Look,
I'm not getting into this argument.
Let me do my pound for pound list real quick.
Make your point.
Okay, Crawford.
I'm done.
Crawford number 1, Lomachenko number 2, Canelo number 3, and Usyk number 4. Which one is he going to jump? Maybe Usyk. You ain't jumping Canelo. You're not jumping Lomachenko. You're not jumping Crawford.
Listen, I can honestly sit here and tell you that Spence is probably one of the most dominant fighter at 147 right now.
I would agree, but he's not as dominant as the other 5 ahead of him.
And I can say that. No, that's Spence. I mean Crawford.
Crawford, yes.
Yeah, I think he is. I said this over and over. Crawford has shown me, especially moving up to welterweight, he went and he fought big guys. His first fight at welterweight, he fought big guys and beat them handily. Probably the best fighter out there. But, other than Lomachenko, skill-wise. But if Mikey goes in there...
More than Canelo?
I think...
You think Spence is more skilled than Canelo?
The Crawford.
Oh, Crawford?
No, I keep getting... I'm saying Crawford is. Yeah.
I don't know.
No, not Spence. Crawford.
I don't think Crawford's more skilled than Canelo either.
I do. I truly do.
I don't know, man. Canelo does things...
Well, you still got to go on that first fight that we all thought he lost that fight. He actually lost to Triple G. So, like, all of a sudden, where does Canelo become the superstar?
On the rematch. On the rematch.
But this, like, well, it was still a close fight. I mean, you're talking about a round or 2 difference that it could have actually went to Triple G.
See, Luis has Mikey number 2. I don't know. I would have Loma number 2, and I think Canelo 3 and Mikey maybe
But Crawford
5.
hasn't, yet. And it ain't Crawford's fault, but he has not fought a top 5 pound for pound guy. So if you're talking about Mikey and Spence, the 2 top guys fighting. any one of them guys wins, they should be, moved up pretty damn high because they took the fight.
I mean, I'm the first to tell you, I love Mikey. You know that, and I support everything he does. But I'm not gonna fall into that he's gonna move. He's moving to number one over a win over Errol. I think that he still needs, and it's the same with the way Errol's not moving to number one over Mikey. I think Crawford is still the better fighter.
Crawford's going to arguably be number one should be
and
number
then
one.
Crawford beats Khan. Where does that leave him?
Crawford should. Well, you know what? Number one. And he won't get the respect that he wants because everybody's going to say Khan is done and Khan ain't the same fighter that he was. And that's the way it works.
I'll say the one thing that I
feel
agree
bad for Crawford because he won't get the credit for it.
No, but the one thing I agree with you most is that you have said is that nobody outboxes Khan. Nobody's ever outboxed Khan. He's been knocked the fuck out.
All right.
But he ain't never been outboxed. Even Canelo, he had Canelo on his back foot until he landed the left hook.
Yeah, I've been saying that. We both have. I mean, so I don't know on that argument. This guy. Hold on, how is this awesome time? Hearts, you guys doing a watch here would be great. Loma is number one. I don't have Bobby. I don't have Loma number one anymore, and I did because unfortunately Loma has the last two fights that he has taken.
Yeah.
I can't put him number one. And then J-Lo says Crawford is not more skilled than Canelo. Okay, come on, but you're saying if you think that Canelo is more skilled than Crawford, I have no argument with you on that. I don't agree with it, but you're not crazy for thinking.
They're so close in talent. You're not going to get
them. Come on, dude. I mean, fucking. He got beat up by Triple G in the first fight. Canelo won the first 3 rounds and got beat up. The second fight was a close fight. I mean, he got beat up bad by Floyd Mayweather. So what the fuck are you talking about? That I'm crazy for saying that the skill level between him and Crawford is that far off.
But what they're saying is Canelo's fighting better competition.
I don't give a fuck. I mean,
he does. If you put Crawford in Spence,
so
you're
going to tell me, come on, I'm fucking crazy for saying that?
No, but you would have Crawford. If Crawford stepped up and Spence stepped up, you would have a closer fight like that.
I'm talking about dude saying he goes more skilled than Canelo. Come on. What? I'm crazy because I said that because I think Triple G and then won a very close second fight, and I'm fucking crazy for saying that Crawford got more skills than Canelo. All right. No, I understand this person, but I'm a little pissed off when they say, "Come on, I'm crazy for it." Joe,
it's close.
I appreciate your opinion, homie.
No, it's close either way. But I think if Crawford stepped up and fought one of these elite guys like Canelo stepped up and fought an elite guy, it'd be closer, wouldn't it? You think Crawford's gonna come in and tap down to Spence?
Well, you were just talking about.
No, what I'm saying is, do you think it would be that way?
Yeah, but wait. So you're saying about what Canelo's skills? Now you just said because Canelo fought more than Crawford too.
No, Canelo has fought better resume than Crawford, right?
Yeah.
And he's fought better resume than Golovkin, and
he's fought better resume. But you have Canelo above Crawford too now?
No, I'm just saying no because that loss to Triple G keeps him back, right? That first loss to Triple G, even if it was a draw, we know he was lost. That will keep him behind the pound for pound list. The pound for pound list isn't based on potential; it's based on facts. Canelo could be the greatest in the world, but he lost to Triple G in the first fight. Even though it was a draw, he fucking lost. And for me, the pound for pound list isn't a list on potential; it's a list on facts. It's either you do it or you don't.
Well, that's your pound for pound, though. So you're saying
everybody's pound for pound. It's not a potential list. If that was a potential list, I'd have Inoue number one. Right?
Sounds like people are agreeing to disagree.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, fuck it.
I'm telling you.
It's just it's like a round circle of repeating yourself and
we've been talking about this for 2 years now. I mean, I'm not going to make a list out of potential.
But I was going on when the guy said that because I said Crawford got more skills than Canelo, and he goes, "Come on, you're crazy. Come on." That's what I'm getting pissed. Telling me that I'm stupid for fucking saying Crawford got more skills.
I think he just disagrees with you.
No, I know.
I'm
not.
had too much coffee.
I had to. Oh, wait till next time you argue with the 90th fucking person. Every show you're MF with somebody.
Every show. I'm just saying. My thing is this. Crawford is better pound for pound. Is he better skills than Canelo? I don't know. What I'm saying is Canelo's had the better resume. But I'm not going on that because Canelo arguably lost the first fight against Triple G. 160, 112. Crawford hasn't gotten close to losing. He hasn't got close. That's why I have to keep Crawford ahead. Canelo beats Danny Jacobs. Canelo handily beats Danny Jacobs. That might move him to number one.
And it can. And as I said before, this whole top 5 is up for grabs, actually. with every fighter in the top 5 pound for pound, it is up for grabs.
Yeah.
Everybody's got one big fight away from taking. That's where I'm going with it. Is that one big fight away from taking number one?
Okay. What now?
But not, and I'm not saying that they're going to stay number one.
Yeah.
Because I think if Mikey Garcia beats Spence,
Yeah.
Mikey goes to number one. If Crawford turns around and beats Khan handily, I think that you definitely got to put Crawford back up. I mean, it's going to keep bouncing back and forth, but the issue is they got to keep making these big fights like that. That's the
I understand.
issue.
My thing is this, Kelly. For me personally, the pound for pound list for me is not based on potential or how good you think you can do or how good you may do in the future. My list is based on who you're fighting now. That's it.
I know, but if these guys are winning against decent fighters in top 10 and they're undefeated, I agree. I know what you're saying. I'm not arguing that at all.
Because if I was going on potential, I'd already have Inoue number one.
Okay, so what I was saying, like with this fight, it's kind of hard.
Bivol be number one.
It's kind of hard not to put Spence or Mikey number one after this fight, whoever wins it, though, because
you could. I mean, you could make the argument. But what I'm saying, you could make the argument about putting Spence or Mikey number one. There, you could. But what I'm saying is with Crawford fighting Khan and Canelo fighting Jacobs, that's a hard move. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. That's a hard move. And then, I mean, shit, you got Wilder and Big Baby Miller. Where does Wilder go?
it's hard with the heavyweights, though. It is.
I have Wilder in pound for pound list, the bottom of the pound for pound list, but he's there. He's top 10.
So you think if he beats
Big Baby Miller, I
don't think that does anything because maybe Big Baby Miller's just coming on the scene. Now, if Wilder beat a Joshua, different story. I think that he would have to beat a Joshua to climb higher up.
I just think, even if Mikey wins or Spence wins, whoever wins, it might move you one spot. I don't think it's going to move you to the top of the list. You know what?
I know that in my opinion, you guys know for a fact that I had Loma number one for a while.
Yeah, but with Pedrosa, it dropped him a little bit, right?
Yeah, and this next fight coming up, these guys definitely hop over Lomachenko. Crawford's definitely over Lomachenko. And I may have to put Canelo over.
Slavin asks us, who does Loma have to beat to be your number one? I would put Tank.
Tank
would move him to number one.
Or a Mikey.
Tank or Mikey.
Yep.
There's a bunch of good questions here. I just haven't got to everything yet. Louis says it's not about who is more skilled.
A good amount.
Oh, he's got it. Okay.
Pound for pound is about consistency in top fights, and I agree. Let's see. Simon said Chocolatito was arguably number one for a long time based on skills before the world saw him for the first time. Yeah, he was. And he was. But the problem is Chocolatito fought in a weight class that was really fucked up for him. He fought in a weight class that did not benefit him. These lighter guys, they never get credit like the other guys. Look how many years Finito Lopez, nobody even knew about him, but he was technically probably the best fighter in the world.
It's hard, and you know what? And even for me,
look at Carbajal. Nobody even knew Carbajal.
And even for me as a former pro fighter, it's hard to really get into them lower weight classes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I'm not lying about it. I mean, it's unfortunate, but it's true.
It's true.
I have a hard time.
Now let's shake this Mikey Spence fight out. Let's shake this out.
Okay, am I not far behind?
Kelly, I want you to tell. You be Mikey's trainer. You tell me what you tell everybody what Mikey has to do to win this fight, and I'll be Spence's trainer. How's that?
Okay.
All right. You're Kelly Garcia.
All right. Well,
You're Kelly Garcia.
Kelly Hondro.
You're Kelly Hondro Pavlendez Garcia. I want you to tell me how Mikey beat Spence. Break it down.
First of all, I was saying before, you know, Mikey doesn't neglect the body, and I think for this fight that. I hope they didn't work on it too much and Mikey tries to go to. I know it sounds crazy. I just don't think 8 weeks, 9 weeks, or even 10 weeks is a long enough time going into a fight against a guy like Spence to start attacking the body. You leave yourself open. But if I was Mikey, what I would do is I would move, show for maybe 45 seconds out of a round, move around the ring, dance a little bit, get back in pocket. And when I say back in the pocket, though, that's not running. Mikey makes great angles. He makes good footwork side to side, and keep Spence constantly guessing and keeping him off balance and throwing the shots. Both start off slow. They're both slow starters. So Spence ain't going to do anything overwhelming in the beginning of the rounds, first couple rounds, and Mikey don't either. But I think Mikey can still do enough to steal some of them early rounds. The experience part comes in the later rounds where Mikey can make up some lost rounds in the middle. The way I'm going on it. But I don't think Mikey can't stand there and be a stationary target. He has to give different looks. He can't rely on his power because we know that that's not going to really be anything much at 147. Mikey's going to carry enough power to still get the respect and make Earl Spence say, ow, next time I'm not going to come in like this. But I don't think it's going to be a knockout type power. So keep Earl moving, keep Earl thinking, and keeping him uncomfortable is going to be the key for Mikey.
Yeah. Well, since I'm working with Errol Spence right now, first thing I want Errol to do is I still want him to go to the body because that's where he's the best at. I want him to keep that jab in Mikey's face because that southpaw jab will mean a lot with an orthodox fighter. It'll keep him backing up on his heels. And I'm not super convinced right now that Mikey fights off his back feet that well because he never had to. I've never seen Mikey have to fight off his back foot. So what Errol's going to have to do is, and do what Errol does best. Errol does best by pressuring you, using power, and using great combination punching and body work. And I would keep Mikey backing up. And when Mikey goes to move, what Errol needs to concentrate on mostly is not by cutting off the ring. He needs to go where Mikey's going to be, not where he's at. He needs to kind of anticipate Mikey and stop him in his tracks. Because a lot of people, they think cutting off a ring is being where that fighter's going to be. No, it's being where he's going to be at. You want to beat him there, meet him there. You want to make that ring, you want to make that 20-foot ring as small as possible. And if anybody can do it, Errol Spence can do it. And Errol Spence needs to put that big body on Mikey. Errol's going to be 170 tonight. Mikey might be 153 coming in. Yeah. Errol needs to put that big body on him and go to the body and keep pushing Mikey back. He needs to be as physical as possible.
I agree. I said yesterday that his style, and I know everybody's going to be like, yeah, Kel, that's typical you would say that because you're just a brawler. But no, I think Spence needs to go in this fight and try to beat up Mikey, roughhouse him. I mean, listen, you got the big size advantage, you got the height advantage, and you're a strong welterweight fighting other welterweights, and I think you need to go in there and just do that. If you try to get into a boxing match with Mikey, you're going to lose the fight. That's the way I look at it. Sorry about that. I got a little excited. See, we still go back to our roots here. We use glass for our phone stand.
Yeah, in the studio we have all the cool stuff holding everything up.
All right, real quick. This guy wants to know who's the guy on the backdrop. He's Mr. Know-It-All in boxing. Gavin. He could also whoop my ass.
Robert Garcia's ass.
Robert Garcia's ass.
And also, who else was it? Robert Garcia, your ass, and
Darnell Boone.
Darnell Boone.
Yeah, and he knows everything about boxing. The kid has a hard time in society, so we just wanted to give him a little tribute and put him up on the green screen because this is probably the farthest he'll ever get in life. And
I'm getting a lot of questions on this 170. What I mean by 170, guys, is I know a lot of people, they probably don't understand the weigh-in process. Errol weighed in at 146. Errol walks around maybe 175, 180. He's a big kid. What's going to happen is you have 30 hours between weigh-in and before weigh-in and fight time. So in that 30 hours, he's going to rehydrate, and he's going to go back to 3/4 of the weight that he lost. So he could be anywhere from 165 to 170 tonight by fight, and that is an advantage for him, his strength. Mikey weighed 145, and we can see Mikey maybe 151 to 153 tonight because Mikey usually staying about 165, 170 himself. So that's what I mean by that.
All right. Chris Hardy, Dwayne says list discussions, pound for pound list discussions, guaranteed arguments. Yeah, they are. Chris Hardy goes, I think the pound for pound list has to do more than 5. Being 7th, 8th, and 9th on the list doesn't mean much. All right, Chris.
Then if that's the case, why do we have Spence on the list?
But okay, Chris, then, so if Danny Jacobs, you have him number 10 or 9th on the list, and you have Canelo number 2, and Danny Jacobs goes in and dominates and knocks out Canelo in the 5th round, what do you mean that it don't jump him all the way up to the top 3 if you had Canelo? So it does. Being in the top 10 has a lot to do with it because if you fight one of the top guys, you move all the way up.
I think, and my thing with the pound for pound list, it's all so close. There's nobody head and shoulders above anybody in that pound for pound list. Any fight can change that list any moment. Back in the 90s, like let's say the 90s and 2000s, the list was so far apart. You had Roy Jones and Floyd Mayweather, Andre Ward, everything's so far apart between them.
But even if it ain't, I'm just saying, like, even right now, if you got a guy number 8 in the pound for pound list, just say you have Danny Jacobs number 8. and you have Canelo number 2, and Danny Jacobs goes in and dominates the entire fight, where do you move Danny Jacobs now? He just beat up the number 2 guy in the pound rankings.
Yeah. Well, Slavin says, I seriously doubt Mikey can walk in at more than 160. Slavin, nobody said he's going to walk in at more 60. I said he walks around at 160. I said he'll be in about 150 to 153 tonight.
And that don't really have much to do.
It doesn't, but
we've seen Lomachenko go into fights and be actually
166.
lose a half a pound fight night.
Oh, Lomachenko went in at 26 and we saw him at 24.
Yeah,
remember that?
I mean, so that has nothing to really do with it. I mean, if you're strong, if you're in shape, it could play a factor into it. I mean, obviously a bigger guy. It's hard to explain, but
yeah.
That's already trying to set up the excuses of why Spence beat Mikey too, though.
Amanda says, any good fights on the undercard? There's a few good fights on there. There's David Benavidez and Jay Leon Love, which I'm looking forward to. And I got David Benavidez just putting a clinic on Jay Leon Love. I think David Benavidez is probably the best 168 fighter in the world.
Nathan Kelly goes, hey guys, what should Mikey's game plan be tonight?
We just said.
Yeah, we just literally broke that down. I think Mikey just needs to be a moving target, keep guessing the entire time, use his hand speed, and
I think Mikey needs to focus on that straight right and left hook because he's a southpaw, and that's the same recipe that you always use with the southpaw. That right hand and left hook. Also, Errol Spence doesn't move his head. He's not a guy that moves his head a lot, and one camp's not going to change that. Yeah. So Mikey needs to focus on using that right hand and that left hook to the body.
Exactly. Well, and that goes back on Mikey too. One camp ain't going to really make Mikey a body puncher. And then again, you know what? We may be surprised. Mikey might come out and land some tough body shots.
Jason Gower said, what should each fighter eat before each fight? Someone said Mikey was going to eat pizza. Well, I know Mikey, and I know Mikey doesn't eat cheese. He hates cheese, but he'll eat pizza with the sauce and the meat on there. But Mikey has ate fairly, we talked to Robert yesterday, or day before, was it day before? He said that Mikey just eats what he wants for this fight. He had like a pound of sushi, right before weigh-in. So I don't think it's a big effort.
It all depends on the person or fighter. I used to eat pizza and steak and everything else after a fight.
No, you're talking about before.
Prior. Yeah, or prior to. I mean, it depends on how hard it is to make weight and where your weight's at.
You know,
I don't think anybody's going to go.
Some guys are drinking lemon water without the lemon. You know.
Who do you guys want for Spence next if he wins? Definitely Crawford. I think that's going to be the fight out there. It's the biggest fight.
Crawford will move up to 54 and fight Hurd.
Yep, we're one of the Charlos.
That ain't going to happen.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because they're the same camp.
Yeah, so they're going to fight. But you'll find maybe Jarrett Hurd and Crawford would be good, or Spence. Aaron Morales is now 6-0. We knew Aaron Morales was going to do well. Duran used to eat buildings after fights. Yeah, and Duran used to get 200 pounds, and he's a lightweight.
Yeah. The guy blew up. I tell you what, man, Duran looks good now, though.
Duran did
He lost a lot of weight.
Hey, I was surprised. I met Duran yesterday. First time I ever met him. I was like sitting there, that's fucking Duran.
That's funny too with that because like with Vargas last night, talked to Vargas on the phone numerous times. Even when I was out in Oxnard training, I would talk with Fernando, but never got to meet him. Never, and last night I was like, screw this shit, man. I'm getting a picture with Fernando.
You finally got. Hey, Jason Gower. He said Crawford had a tough time with the guy he fought last with one leg. Really? He had a tough time with Jose Benavidez. I don't think he did. I think you saw a different fight, man.
Nathan Kelly goes.
Jose Benavidez is a dog. He can fight.
Nathan Kelly goes. Thurman should be next.
Hey, Thurman doesn't.
Why does Thurman get that opportunity? Why wouldn't
Thurman look
Sean
like shit.
Sean Porter get that opportunity? Why wouldn't
Danny Garcia?
Danny Garcia. Why wouldn't Crawford? I mean, Crawford's the top guy right now at that weight class, along with Spence. How come he can't get the shot?
Jay said he didn't. You don't have to. You know what? When people say, "Oh, Crawford didn't KO Jose Benavidez," the sport's called boxing. It's not called knockout.
No.
Is the sport called knockout? The sport is called boxing. So what if he didn't knock him out? Jose Benavidez is a world champion caliber fighter. He was trained by his dad. He's David's little brother. The kid can fight.
There's been a lot of non-knockout punchers that have won world titles.
Yeah.
By not knocking people out.
Yeah. Next fight for Mikey. Amanda, I would like to see him fight Lomachenko, but we all know the beef for Top Rank. That's probably not on the horizon. But that's probably what I like to see.
Water in my coffee, bro.
I would like to see Lomachenko and Mikey next.
I think that'd be the best one too. Hey Kelly, is Roger Romo going to be there tonight? No, he's not. Blue.
He's in a Get ready for Mexico.
Yeah, he's working with other guys right now. What's up, Jonathan? How you doing, bro?
Thank you, Pato. Lonnie said, very good point. Thank you, Lonnie. It's true though, man. I mean, I'm not gonna. There's guys that you can't knock out. As big as a puncher Kelly was, there was guys that you didn't knock out.
But,
I mean,
but
and
I still won a decision.
Like I said, this sport is not called. This sport's called boxing, not knockout. When it is, I would never have got into the sport. I ain't knocked nobody out.
The sweet science. That's what it is called. Mikey, the zone after this fight. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Mikey's in the driver's seat. I think Mikey could choose what he wants to do, especially after this fight, and especially if he wins. I mean, Mikey's going to be the one doing the negotiating.
I'll tell you where I would like to see Mikey go. It's something that they're sleeping on. A good fight would be at 140 with Mikey and Regis Prograis. That would be a great fight.
And I'd like to see Mikey back down at 140 more so than 147. So
yeah, 140 against Regis Prograis would be a great fight for Mike. So, but no one even talks about that because I think Prograis is the class of the 140 division.
Hey James, I saw a video yesterday where you said you were Mexican. You must be half Polish, being from Wisconsin, right?
Who said that?
Blue Diamond. What the fuck?
I'm not from Wisconsin.
You can make me spit my beer.
I didn't even know. I just started reading the question. Come on. That's actually kind of funny though. He ain't being mean. What you saying?
No, you're just stupid. I'm from California, you idiot.
He's from Oxnard, man.
I'm from Oxnard.
Yeah. Oxnard.
Well, he's Mexican, he's Polish. I love it.
Surprised I didn't get the Polish. I do not look Polish.
You don't?
Get the fuck out of here. I may a little bit. I
I
look
might.
more Polish than James does.
You do.
What?
Amanda says, I like to. I'm half Mexican, half
He goes,
liberal.
I'm just
Don't
saying,
forget it.
He goes, I'm just saying, James looks white. Yeah, he wasn't being mean.
Is that what you said? I look white?
Yeah.
I'm light skinned. No one says Canelo's not Mexican. I'm light skinned. I don't go outside. What? My mom was fair complected. Amanda said she'd like to see you in the ring. Wouldn't we all?
What's up, Ruben? Ruben's Gutierrez, good kid, known him for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, it is going to be interesting tonight. It's going to be interesting to see exactly the final turnout, I think. I hope there's a big turnout for this fight.
Did anybody hear the ticket sales for Mike? Anybody know what they say? 40,000. Yeah, they said 51, but I was wondering.
That's not bad.
But they always go high. Okay. They always go high, so I was like, so I was wondering.
And you're not going to kick. You're probably going to get a shitload of walk-ups. A lot of walk-ups. Dave Blue Diamond says, "No, Kelly, you look Irish."
You're Italian.
James looks Polish. I'm a lot of shit.
Lonnie said, what's the second best fight you guys are looking forward to? Lonnie, I'm looking forward to Crawford and Khan. Honestly, I think that's my favorite fight my second favorite fight this year.
I agree with him. I think so because it's probably the most interesting fight. Because you got two really, really good boxers going out in that fight. And a lot of people think it's going to be a quick knockout because Khan's chin, but both guys are solid boxers. And I think it's going to be more interesting than what people think.
Well, I think Crawford has more in the toolbox than Khan. I think he just has a little more in there. I think I have Crawford winning, but I don't think it's going to be easy. I think he's going to actually be pushed a little bit finally. Kelly Slavin said, I heard you're Slovak.
Yes, I am. Pavlik is Slovak.
Yama says, hey guys, don't you think it'll be hard for Mikey to stay off the ropes from getting locked in a corner? I don't think you never see Mikey on the ropes. He keeps his back off the ropes. That's something that the Big G's always instilled in fighters. They always stay off the ropes. You never saw Fernando on the ropes. You didn't see Robert on the ropes. He tries to keep the fight in the middle. So, yeah. Lonnie, I think it is Khan's last chance. I think this is his last chance to, he's getting older. It's his last chance for him to say, hey, this is your title run. If not, he saved his money. He should.
Yeah, he's going to have to make a move.
Yeah.
How many pay-per-views you reckon this is going to pull, boys? Ooh, I'm going to go with between 600 and 800.
Is that really?
You think? Yeah.
I was gonna go like 1.5 to 2.
1.5 to
2 million
mil.
buys, yeah.
That's higher than
Wilder?
Pacquiao and
No, it
Mayweather.
wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, yeah, it is.
1.5 is a pretty good amount.
There hasn't really been many at all.
And
1.5.
I think there will be. I think we're gonna go big.
Is anybody else? Can you pull it up, Justin? I'm gonna say about between 600,000 and 800,000.
How long are you gonna be on right now? Maybe 15 more minutes or so.
Yeah, because we got to get to we got to get back to the arena and start covering some of the undercard fights.
Bobby says, Kelly, you want FaceTime live so we can watch the fight? We're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, Bob
we'll get
can't.
copyright infringement. They will sue the
Lobster.
shit out of us for that.
Khan wins a lot of rounds before he gets knocked out. He does, but he also went to decision with a lot of big punchers too.
Maidano's
So-
the hardest puncher in that welterweight division.
Yeah,
he
and
beat him.
Khan went to decision and won that.
Are you going to Yes, we are going to go Crawford Khan, Darren.
How many fights? Khan can take a punch, just gives his chin too easy. I think so, Bobby. I think Khan also admires his work too much, and that comes into the fact where he leaves his chin out there.
I think that's something that Mikey does as well. I think Mikey does stay in the inside and admire his work a little too long. I think maybe he needs to start moving out of the pocket.
Yeah. Michael Donahue, do you think Spence being a southpaw makes a difference tonight? Well, yeah, anytime you're a southpaw makes a little bit of a difference.
4.6 million.
Wow. Okay, pull up the Canelo Triple G.
So okay, Pac and Mayweather's 4.6 million.
Yeah.
It's
1.1, 1.3 for the first one, 1.1.
it's reasonable
Okay.
that this fight would have the same numbers.
So I'm going to say it's between 600 and 800.
I'm gonna
I'm
say-
go around 800.
I'm going to say 1.2.
Yeah, 800 because this one's also at $75 too. This pay-per-view. So
You got any good questions there?
no.
I have a bunch of them here. They're saying that somebody said that Jake Leon is going to win. Love is going to win. I don't think he's going to beat David Benavidez, but
Now, did anybody hear what happened with the Love yesterday as far as coming in overweight? Did he have to lose that, or
He came in 3 times overweight, but the third time he made it.
it's crazy because he looked small. He looked small, didn't he?
Yeah.
He looked small though coming in compared to like Benavidez. I go, I don't know how he didn't make weight. Oh my God.
Sean Morgan goes, "You guys should be calling the fight. Too good for just a podcast." Thank you.
Ooh.
We appreciate that.
I would like to, but I don't have the voice for it. Kelly does.
What are you guys laughing about over there?
What? Yeah, no, but I don't like it. I don't know. But I agree with Lonnie. I think it's Khan's last chance.
Oh, definitely it's Khan's last chance. He goes, especially if he goes in and gets knocked out.
Chris Henderson, one of the best writers in the sport, said Mikey writes his own checks from him if he wins tonight. He's Hispanic in a sport. The Hispanic demographic carries big weight in negotiations because it's the most dependable market.
Blue Diamond. Love looked sick and drained. He was acting weird too.
He did look small.
Yeah,
He was.
but he was doing that the day before too, starting like trying to stir shit up.
Yeah. Chris Noble said Pacquiao's fought AT&T Stadium a couple times. So has Canelo. Is there potential Dallas could get a fight between Errol and one of these guys rather than Vegas? Of course. Anytime you have Jerry Jones involved in a promotion, it's AT&T Stadium's an awesome stadium to fight in.
Yeah.
I think this is the nicest place I've ever been to a fight. And I've been to MGM in Vegas. I've been to Madison Square Garden. I've been to Azteca in Mexico, but this is the best. So.
Benavidez looked the best shape I've seen him in before a fight. He did look in really good shape. Bobby Dazzler, do a fight companion like Rogan. We're working on that. As soon as we can get one, we can't do it here because we're here live doing the fight.
Yeah.
So
Kevin said, to hell with the fight. You get some good barbecue. Man, that's all we've eaten for 2 days, right?
yeah, we have. Damn. What do you want to think about it? I can still smell the smoke on my fingers.
The barbecue. We ate about.
And it's actually making me hungry again, though.
Is it?
It was really good. Really, really good.
Yeah, I don't know, but the thing is, it's a 17 fight card tonight, and for you guys, the fights. If you want to watch the other cards, you can catch them on FS1 tonight and Fox.
Blue Diamond.
What's up, Tony?
He goes, I hate Jerry Jones. He sabotaged Tony Romo's career by getting rid of Murray in 2014.
Lonnie said, that's a huge statement, James, for AT&T. It's a nice stadium, man, and they cater it. It's like inside it's just beautiful, isn't it?
We almost got it. We were almost able to play Fight Night on a big flat screen.
Kelly met up with the guy that creates video games. He wanted to play Fight Night on the giant screen against Kelly. So, but I don't know. I just liked it. I think the way they set up for the media was nice too, didn't they? All the different things they had. It was really nice. Even though Top Rank takes good care of us too, though. Top Rank takes good care of us.
Yeah, they do. Top Ranks fights are nice.
Harris said, James, you don't understand the pay-per-view market at all. Maybe not. I don't know.
Who said that?
Here is Paco says, I don't understand the pay-per-view market at all. Maybe not. Maybe
Some
not.
Steak tacos or a ribeye.
What the fuck do I know, right?
Best state. You don't even pay attention.
I know.
Best state for steaks.
What is?
I guess Texas.
Kansas City?
Texas. Kansas City's the best for barbecue. Sorry, Texas. Y'all may have the best steaks, but
Kevin, no, he got
barbecue.
beat again. But I think the second fight.
Am I making anybody mad on that one?
No, I think the second fight it was Kelly got robbed, but the first fight he got a revenge on Fight Night. They want to know if you got your revenge.
Yeah, I think I might have took the second fight.
I think
it was up in the air.
Yeah.
You watched that?
I was watching it last night.
The second fight though was closer.
You know that kid though, he had the advantage. It was his counsel. It was his controllers.
I would have liked to see Mikey fight Pacquiao first of all before that. He's a bigger star than Spence and more. But also, Darren, I can understand that. But what is beating Pacquiao going to do for Mikey?
He will not get the credit, especially Mikey of all people.
The first thing they're going to
not get the credit.
The first thing they're going to say is this: he beat an old man. He beat an old man. He beat Manny. He's old man. He didn't do nothing for him. And it's going to be the same thing. When you're chasing greatness, when you're chasing greatness and chasing money, I mean, there's nothing for Mikey right there. I mean, maybe after this fight, if he wants to fight Manny or whatever and collect a big paycheck, yeah. But there's nothing for him in the way of his greatness or the way of his career beating Manny Pacquiao.
Dude says, Chris Hardy goes, Kelly. Or Chris, yeah, he goes, he could beat me in Fight Night. Probably could, man. I can handle my own, though. One dude says, Blue Diamond goes, Kelly, you're going to get shot saying that in Texas. I said, you might be right. I'm sorry, man. You might be right about that. South Carolina is good. I like Tennessee and Kansas City barbecue. Again, but even here, it's still good as hell. I mean, I'm a carnivore. You can, as long as you put some dry rub on the meat, it can be sitting out for fucking 5 weeks. I'm going to eat it.
I like any barbecue. I like any barbecue I can eat. You know what I mean?
I'm not knocking it. That smokehouse, man, that was good barbecue. But
I like any barbecue that I can eat, man. I don't give a shit where it's from. Darren, he did become a star by fighting De La Hoya, but Manny Pacquiao now is 40 years old. He closer to 41 than 40. I mean, Mikey beating Manny won't do nothing for him. The first thing they're going to say is, "Hey, you beat an old Manny Pacquiao. You could never beat him in his prime. That's what you would have had."
Mikey gets shit. I mean, Mikey's going to probably get shit. If Mikey wins this fight, there'll probably be people out there saying that Spence drained himself to make weight.
Or that Spence was overrated the whole time and Mikey should have won.
Yeah.
And how many people, honestly, how many people are going to admit that they rooted for Spence if Spence loses? You know what? I had 100 people say that Broner was going to beat Mikey Garcia. Ask all 100 of them now, 98 of them will say they never said that. I got Facebook.
Kelly, last I heard, ticket sales were at 35,000 as of yesterday. Where are we at? We don't know yet. That's what we were asking.
We just asked. They said 41,000 right now.
Yeah. Did you guys know that Tony Ferguson is the type of guy to have knee surgery in order to have a microchip implanted in it? Did I know that?
That's not an insult. Canelo, Triple G didn't even do 2 million, but you think these two never been on pay-per-view dues more is insane. No, I didn't say they would do more. I said it'd be 1.2, whatever. But you know, the market here right now is huge for Mikey Garcia. I mean, it's huge, and it's huge for Errol Spence. You got to remember, Triple G. Let's be honest now. Triple G does not sell tickets. Triple G is not a big. He doesn't sell. He doesn't sell outside the European market.
I
very
still
well.
think he's big draw. People know.
He wasn't a big during the first fight. He's
I mean,
bigger now.
Kids at my gym that are 18 years old that don't know shit about boxing see more Triple G
So you're
fights
saying,
than mine.
yeah, but was he before Canelo? Was he a
And
big
Canelo is a big, huge.
Canelo's
draw.
huge. But right
So,
now,
you saying that Spence is more known in the United States boxing than
I just
Triple
think
G?
no. But I think Mikey's well known.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is but Canelo's very well known, and Triple G. You know what I mean? So I just see it being I say between 600,000 and 800,000.
And like I said, I don't know.
And the reason why I say 600,000 to 800,000, I think pricing of this fight is going to play a part in that too at $75.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I threw a guess out there. Fuck. You know what I mean? I don't know. But I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, no. Shit, I don't work in pay-per-view sales. But I do know this. I do know what the value is they bring to the fight. And it's a good card.
Well, thanks, Stephen. No, I mean, we'll see, though. I mean, it's
And I think boxing's made a resurgence a lot over the past couple of years where it's doing a lot better than it has. We know that.
yeah, it absolutely has. Yeah, it definitely has. Blue Diamond, there are only 2 undefeated records in the world of combat sports.
Is there?
Floyd's 50-0 and Chael Sonnen's ego 51-0.
What about Finito Lopez? He was 51-0 when he retired.
Marciano didn't retire, but
Yes, he did.
was he retired? when he died?
49-0, yeah. He died in 68 on an airplane crash. He was
Yeah, I know that. I know he
49-0.
died on an
Marciano was retired too.
I didn't know that. I thought he was still fighting. Or contemplating
No,
to come
he
back.
died in 1968 on an airplane crash. He was already retired.
Joe Lowe. Triple G doesn't sell tickets. He sold out Madison Square Garden in L.A. several times, even before the Canelo fight.
I was there at the forum when he fought Monroe. I think it was Monroe. I don't know, man. I just have a feeling this fight's going to do really well. I hear it being talked about in circles that people don't even watch boxing. You know what I mean? I heard Joe Rogan talking about the fight the other day.
Yeah.
Talking about Errol Spence and Mikey Garcia.
I think Joe's starting to actually.
Learn boxing?
I think he's starting to get into boxing. You know, because you have a podcast that big, and Joe's into combat sports, and
Yeah.
you know, and that goes for me too. Though I mean, I should actually, I think I'm going to because I like watching mixed martial arts and UFC, but I think I really need to start paying a little bit more attention to it myself.
Yeah. I enjoy both. I enjoy both sports.
But shit, I mean, how do I say that? Because it's hard for me to catch some of the boxing matches, you know, in my own sport. So
I think a lot of times we choose to not watch them. I mean, you can only take so much boxing sometimes. Sometimes I'd rather watch a documentary.
yeah. But hey, guys, listen, I'm going to give it one more minute because we do got to get over to the stadium.
There
And
is. Triple G sold out the small ballroom, not the large one at Madison Square Garden. Big difference. Lomachenko sold out the small ballroom, not the big one. See, people say that so-and-so sold out Madison Square Garden. Yeah, but which ballroom? The little one, or the big one? You know, that don't mean shit. You sell out the big one, then we'll talk. You sell out the 20,000 seater, then we'll talk, not the 3,000 seater.
I could have sold out that 3,000 seater.
You could have sold out the Ford Center.
Damn right.
It was 14,500, right?
That's right.
For Spence's last fight. I don't know, man. I think we're in for a good fight tonight.
Live porn.
I don't think the fight's gonna end. I don't think the fight's gonna end.
Hey,
in
did
2
Tommy
rounds, 3 rounds.
come on there at all?
What?
Did Tommy come on there at all?
No, I ain't seen Tommy. Fuck Tommy.
Well, guys, Bobby says Rogan knows. Rogan, I'm not saying Rogan don't know boxing. I think he does. But I'm saying he can still get more involved because I'm sure Rogan will even tell you that he does not watch as much boxing as he watches UFC.
Yeah,
Like,
Darren.
It's like I'm not going to watch the same amount.
Yeah, Darren,
I'm
they're
gonna
showing the
watch
fight
UFC.
a lot around here and out west. They've been showing it in the movie theaters for like $23 a ticket to show the fight. You know, it just depends where you're at. But like I said, I don't know. I'm probably way off on the 1.2 million. I just threw it out there. I just think it's going to be a great fight. I don't think it's going to end in 2 rounds or 3 rounds or 4 rounds. I think we're going to have a good, solid fight. And I think a lot of people's going to eat a lot of crow after this fight. Me personally, I have the fight a solid 50-50. It's not that I'm afraid to make a decision or anything like that, because I honestly don't know. Because anybody who knows me knows I will make a decision on a fight.
It's a 50-50 fight. Listen, Spence could go in there and knock Mikey out in the 3rd round. I mean, it's not out of the question. Spence is a big, strong welterweight. And this is like some of the arguments I've been in on Facebook. When I said 50-50 fight and people were like, Tom and other people were saying I'm crazy. Oh, that's real quick. I do want to tap into that, a basic, a basic fighter. But so this fight, anything could happen into it. But it's crazy to say that. Oh my God, Spencer's going to destroy him. Just to come out and say that, though, like without even giving Mikey a chance.
But they say I never seen Mikey fight, but he'll destroy him.
Yeah, but I made a comment about Mikey being or Spence being a basic fighter. Listen, what I was saying by that is, guys like Nassim Hamed, Manny Pacquiao, Pernell Whitaker, Floyd Mayweather. Those are not basic fighters. Them guys do different things, and they're unorthodox when they fight. They're not your regular type boxing style. Bernard Hopkins. These guys, they fight totally different, and they're great. And then you got basic fighters, guys who fight the proper way, the basic way of boxing. And they're legends. There are legends that fought like that and became good. So saying a fighter is basic is not saying he sucks or he's not good. It's saying that his style is a basic style. And it's somewhere where they do everything right and they don't make many mistakes. That's not a knock. And I got in an argument yesterday, and I'm trying to explain this. And of course, me, Robert Garcia, Darnell Boone, and all the other guys that accomplished a lot in the sport of boxing were wrong on that. It wasn't an insult on Spence saying that he's a basic fighter.
So Harris told me to do my research. He sold out Madison Square Garden. Which arena did he sell out in Madison Square Garden? There's three ballrooms in there. There's a large one, there's a small one, and there's a medium one. He did not sell out the large ballroom. They don't even use that shit.
Can you Google it real quick? So
yeah, you want to find out which one he sold out?
Then we're gonna cut down because
what was the attendance for Jacobs and Triple G and Jacobs?
Joe,
this guy says no disrespect, but he just keeps talking shit.
Who's that?
That Heroes
What's his name?
Packers.
Because Joe says that we're looking it up right now.
Wilder didn't sell the big fucking room. They're not going to. Yeah, that's funny. They get mad because you said Spence was basic and does everything well. That is not a knock. That is a compliment. When you say a fighter does everything well, everything well. There's no. And
the main thing is his style. Basically, he's right here.
In your face.
Proper form.
And he's proper. You can't find any mistakes on him.
He's not doing what a Prince Nassim does, back here, or a Manny Pacquiao who comes in firing punches. It's not a fucking insult. And I'm over arguing with this person about it, like, and I wasn't going to go any farther into it. But
the thing is, Mikey's basic. Mikey's a basic fighter, too.
Basic fighter.
He doesn't do anything special. Mikey does everything well. Errol Spence does everything well.
You're not going to see Mikey or Errol Spence with their hands down like this, moving them all over the place.
You're not going to see Roy Jones Jr. Yeah. You're not going to see Roy Jones. You're not going to see Andre Ward. That's not the kind of fighter these are. Those guys are special fighters. These guys are
them guys
good fighters.
Them guys like Lomachenko.
They're special.
They're athletic fighters. Not saying they're not skilled in the sport of boxing, but they also are very athletic athletes. They're skilled. They're unorthodox. When
I think of skilled, I think of fighters that do things that are uncommon and they get away with it. That is something Spence and Mikey could not get away with those things that those guys do. But they do everything perfect. They do everything well. There's no flaws in the game. Usually with a guy they
don't make mistakes.
Usually with a guy that's real usually these guys that are real athletic, they're so athletic, but there's flaws in the game.
Yeah.
Roy Jones was not a great boxer. He was so athletic, though, he covered for a lot of things.
Exactly.
And his chin was not as great as people thought, but he was so athletic.
And that's the whole entire point that I was trying to explain to them yesterday. Like, you think it's an insult because I'm saying the guy is basic? No, he fucking comes straight forward. He's here. He's moving. He keeps his hands up. He throws hard punches, and he's fast. But he's a basic style. And I'm arguing with these guys, and they're telling me, the one kid, this douche pickle that's up on the screen, this cat's like, shut up, man. You don't know anything about.
You're arguing with the dude that's illegally streaming the fight tonight.
You guys can't see it, can you? This is the dude that was talking shit too, along with the other guy, Gavin.
He's a troll?
No, he's not smart to be a troll. He's just an asshole.
Yeah, but that's the type of people that we
Did you find numbers
ourselves
for that?
arguing with, you know?
No, not pay-per-view, the attendance.
Oh, that's Charlie Z. Yeah. We had our little fun with
Madison
that.
Square Garden attendance for Jacobs and Triple G.
We're going to pull this up real quick, guys. Then we have to shut it down and get over to the fights.
You know what though? I'd rather be quote
Like, what's her name from Popeye, the woman?
Olive Oil?
Olive Oil, like, would she stretch her shit out? That'd be awkward as hell. That'd be ugly. You know, early in my career, though, in amateurs and everything else, when I was winning the national titles and early on in my pro career, though, I was boxing the shit out of people.
I wasn't. I was basic.
Then I would knock them out, too, on top of that. But then I fell into that mold, not so much that I fell into it,
Yeah.
but every day, for every fight and every camp, was like we were knocking people out, so it was like you hit the pads, and it was 1-1-2, and see how hard you could hit the pads.
Yeah.
You get into sparring, and let's see how hard we could hit this guy, and I kind of fell into that mold of just walk you down and try to take you out.
Well, it's funny because it's when you're a fighter and you find out you have power, you're like a 13-year-old that found his cock for the first time.
Yeah, right? You are.
Right?
Hell
I'm gonna
yeah.
knock everything out with this thing.
Yep. I'm going to pull on it until I can't breathe no more.
You know what though? I will say I've been lucky. In my amateur career, I got to work with the Big G. I worked with Rudy Hernandez, and I worked with Joe Goosen. And the one thing that I learned most, I took away from that, was balance. My balance was always great. It was hard to get me out of position. You might kick my ass, but I'm not going to be out of position when you kick it.
Dwayne goes, don't argue with these online guys, Kelly. These people scarily live through these fighters sometimes. They absolutely do. Oh, this kid didn't know the difference between a left hook and a fishing hook. You know what I mean? I'm not J-Lo, hey, watch it. I love a pack of Newports on my table. You're 100%. I'm talking about him, man. Pilas Mega. It was more of an inside joke, Joe. Your 1-2 was like a chisel and hammer, Kelly. Greatness. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. I do. You find it yet there?
He's having trouble pulling the numbers up. What was the numbers? What was the
apologize.
numbers? I don't apologize.
Apologize.
For what? I didn't say he didn't. I asked him if it was. He may have done that.
Yeah.
He may have.
Come on. You gotta apologize.
I didn't say he didn't. I
That's how
said
you
that.
keep the fans watching the show.
I didn't say he did. I said which one did he sell out?
You said that there was 3 different ones.
I'll say, okay, Mr. Packus was correct on that assessment.
Go back, scroll through there, and tell that kid you're sorry.
It did. Harold said Packus is correct. That assessment. He was correct on his assessment. But I didn't deny it. I just want to know I want to know what ballroom he sold out. Because they said Lomachenko sold out Madison Square Garden, right? Which ballroom did he sell out? The small one, 3,300. So they got, he sold Madison. No, the fuck he didn't. He sold out a hallway. We were there that night. 3,300 was
That's a big ass hallway.
But 3,300 compared to the main hallway, but they were playing it like he sold Madison Square Garden out.
I would get off of it though. We don't want to lose another one of them arguments.
Well, it wasn't an argument. I was asking him. But no, back to what we were saying is basic is great.
Yeah, it's
I like basic, man. And if I could be as successful as Mikey or Errol Spence being basic, fuck yeah, I train every fighter like that to be basic.
Pilo, I still rewatch you versus Taylor both all the time. Thanks, bro. I appreciate that.
I watch Kelly and Sergio Martinez and Bernard Hopkins all the time.
Joe Lowe, we gave the apology. He goes, I'm waiting for the apology. Laugh out loud. We gave it, bro. Well, I'm going to put me in that, but James gave the apology on his argument.
There was nothing to argue about. There's nothing to argue about.
Fuck, I was going to say something. I forget though. But
hey, Frankie watches the show. Frankie's a good friend of mine. He wants to meet us tonight.
Oh yeah, Frankie.
We're gonna meet up with you tonight at the fight. So if anybody's at the fight tonight, we'll catch up with you guys because we're gonna wander around till the fucking
mad that we're coming in late, but we're doing a show. We're
extra footwork or any skill that would separate. Could be his fight where he gets enough trouble to break it out. What we mean by basic, we don't mean that he has a special punch. That's not what we mean. Or he has some special attribute. What I mean is when we say basic like that, everything he does is well. There's nothing that just sticks out crazy, but he's fundamentally sound, and that's good. Could he elevate? Yeah, I mean, Errol Spence has not hit his prime yet. Errol Spence is still in the beginning, a fledgling beginning of a career. He's 24 fights in. We don't know what he could be in 30 fights. He might be the greatest welterweight to ever put gloves on. We don't know.
Or junior middleweight.
Or junior
more
middleweight,
likely.
or middleweight even. I mean, we don't know. But I'm sold on Errol Spence. I think he's an amazing fighter.
All right. Well, let's get this down.
All
We
right.
got to go, man. It's 5 o'clock.
All right, we better get in the fights before
Guys, thanks for tuning in. Watch the fights tonight. We are debating, depending on what time and how everything happens tomorrow. We're not going to have much sleep. I'm not. I'm going straight to a powerlifting meet as soon as I land. So I will not be home. Then I got my kids that are going to be tugging at me for a little while. We're going to see what all happens. If we could toss in a show tomorrow night,
Yes, Kevin.
we're going to. But that's why we wanted to do this pre-show also. Go to the site, ask questions, stay on here, ask questions. We'll try to answer as many as we can.
Subscribe, share,
Share.
like, and hit that little bell icon.
Yep.
Also, if you guys have any questions that we didn't answer, go to the inbox and we'll get them answered for you.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
We're out.